and gentlemen, welcome to Sikeston Public School Stadium. We ask that you now please stand as we honor America and those who protect it with the playing of our national anthem, performed this evening by the Sikeston High School Marching Band.
Good evening and welcome to Sikeston High School for tonight's contest. As the host of this game, let's welcome our guests, the Indians of Jackson High School. Let's wish students from both schools good luck, and we encourage all spectators at today's game to keep in mind that good sportsmanship is expected at Sikeston Public School Stadium as we set good examples for our students, players, and youngsters in attendance. Here come the Bulldogs!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sikeston Public School Stadium for tonight's high school football game. Visiting Jackson, coming in to Sikeston to play the Bulldogs. I'm Derek James, along with the president, Matt Tanner. And tough game for the Bulldogs tonight. That is an understatement. Jackson has been the premier program in this area for a number of years. And it's even though they do have 2 losses, their first 2 games of the year, they started 0-2. They are probably still the premier program in the area. Just what about this matchup, Matt?
Oh, I think that's
every
that
home game.
Is,
Players vote for an honorary.
Probably about as obvious as there can be that they are the premier program. I think they set the standard that all local teams try to emulate. Tonight, you know, it was odd, not being odd, but odd different. I think it was last week when we played. We came out, you know, it wasn't really a double wing, double team. We stacked up 2, tight ends on one side and had some ball control. I don't think that we can certainly run and gun with them, but ball control, I mean, you never know. Maybe we can keep it respectable, supposedly.
That strategy is sound. With Jackson's high-powered offense, you want to keep them on the sidelines. In fact, we talked about last week that when Sikeston played Jackson, probably 6 or 7 years ago, and Sikeston came out in double wing, double tight offense, just totally shocked them.
7-0.
And it was 7-0 at the half because Jackson never really had the ball. Sikeston was able to keep the chains moving, and never could put points on the board, but they could hold the ball for almost a quarter, and it frustrated them, but it only worked for a half that night. Now, the problem, Sikeston is down their running back tonight. Keodrick Sherrod, the starting running back, is injured.
Okay.
Don't know for how long, but definitely out for tonight. I've heard it's a knee injury, so who knows, that could be serious, but don't want to speculate on a timetable, which probably means Joseph Heckemeyer, who has been running the ball a lot, will get the bulk of the carries tonight.
You know what? Now that I'm sorry to interrupt, Derek. I do see Keodrick on crutches there with a brace on his knee.
Yeah. I've not heard anything official. Somebody said a meniscus, but who knows?
Well, I mean, did it happen during the game or was it practice? In
practice this past week.
Wow. Okay.
That's what I heard.
Friendly fire, as they say.
So if that's the case, you'll have Joseph Heckemeyer and Trez Clark.
Yes.
We'll probably see the bulk of the carries out of the backfield. And Caden Craig will be the quarterback. Sikeston will receive the opening kick. Greg Hollifield was an honorary captain, the Bulldog Hall of Fame basketball coach. We saw him walking out there. What in the heck is Coach Hollifield doing out there? I've never seen that in the 24 years he's worked at this school.
Right.
And he's out there on the field.
Right.
So he was the honorary captain tonight.
Well, the issue with it, though, Derek, is that he left his post on the south end of the end zone, the supervision, and he and Coach James usually, as they say, post up down there.
So if we have chaos, if we have a calamity down there,
if we have ensuing chaos,
then we know
who
to
to blame it on. But we'll start with Coach Pulley first because he pulled him away from his post. And then we'll blame those two for lack of supervision, right?
That's exactly right. So Jackson will be kicking to start this game. Super perfect night for football weather-wise.
Absolute favorite time of the year.
And Jackson with a large crowd on the other side. They usually travel extremely well.
Yep. I will say, our visiting section is a lot better than theirs. Now, they have a fantastic home side, but their visitor section is about 2 sections of our bleachers.
Well, and it's also filled with Jackson students.
You know, we used to do that back in the day. Do you remember when the student section used to be on the opposite side of the
I remember
field?
the band was over there in the north corner there.
Yes.
I always remember that.
Yep.
Jackson kicking. Bulldogs receiving tonight. It's Hall of Fame night, by the way. So halftime, you'll have the Hall of Fame inductees, Hall of Fame, Wall of Fame. Also honored tonight, Roger Sherman, a special honoree, and he was I didn't know this, he was the architect or inventor of the Hall of Fame, Wall of Fame.
Tell you what.
That's Aaron Williams on the kick return. He picked it up at the 1 and missed a block right there in front of him, and he's brought down at the 12.
Mr. Sherman is an absolute gem, and our town, our community, our school district is fortunate to have a gentleman such as he in our midst, and to have him for so long. He is a true legend and icon and a pillar of our community. What a fine gentleman.
I agree. He is all Sikeston, Mr. Bulldog.
Yes.
Long-time educator in many capacities, all from principals to coach to central office. Now, we look out on the field, Matt, and look what we got. It's very tight, and if that sticks, they're going to try this the whole game. I couldn't see who the running back is. I think it's Trez Clark. Heckemeyer was blocking. It's going to be tough to see who gets the ball half the time here.
Yeah, maybe picked up
that
half
was
a yard.
Trez
maybe.
Clark. Not much there, just a short gain. But you can real quick see the obvious strategy if they continue this throughout the game.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. We did that again. I'm trying to remember last week or 2 weeks ago or whenever it was. We did come up with that. Our Coach Pulley came out with that set of offense, and I'm sure Jackson was probably schooled on that, I assume.
Once again, nothing going. Maybe even lost the yard they picked up. That'll bring up 3rd and 10. I had no idea who got it. I think it may have been Clark again.
I was going to say they just announced that the Caden had the ball. Looked like a keeper there, just a straight quarterback.
Well, we're spotting it ourselves. We don't have binoculars.
Right.
And Mr. Cantrell there has a spotter with binoculars. That's certainly helpful.
Well, I can see the third down marker ahead of that. You can see it's about a yard ahead of it.
Really no gain on that play.
Right.
So 3rd and 9 for the Bulldogs on their opening drive. They are backed up to the 13. Now they're going wide.
Interesting.
Heckemeyer in the backfield. Slant pass to Connor Wallace.
My favorite
It's close.
pass. Thank you.
I think it's going to be a little short of the first down marker. What do? Do you go for this right off the bat? I mean, if it's about a yard, I'm almost inclined to go for it right off the bat. Let's see.
Well, they're over to the sideline. That's for sure.
They're going to send out the punt team, it looks like. So it is 4th and 1. I mean, basically, you would not go for this in most circumstances.
No. But, Deej, we threw a slant.
It worked.
Hey.
Got 8 yards out of it.
8 yards. I mean, you're not going to hit a home run with it, but dadgummit. I love it.
That's a great catch by Connor
Yes,
Wallace.
it was a little bit behind him, but
held on to it. And
yeah, that's something. Get it out of there. You got to be in a rhythm. Get that thing. Get it out of there.
And looks like a delay of game will be coming for the Bulldogs. They were slow getting that play off.
I think it was the clock keeper down here. He started it too early. That's what happened.
Well, it could be, but it is right in front of you where the quarterback can see it or whoever's snapping.
I think he started at about 5. He can't respond. That's what I like about it.
So Bo Riddle to punt.
He's giving me the evil eye. Ooh, about got blocked.
Jackson brought the pressure. Pretty good roll there on that
Yeah,
punt.
it was. That's a pretty good.
And
Pretty
punt
good
out to
job there.
midfield. So about at the 48-yard line of Sikeston, Jackson will take possession. I want to go back to Roger Sherman.
Yes.
So just even a couple weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, we heard about George Woods passing away. George Woods was the incredible shot putter for the Bulldogs. I think he graduated
Olympian?
1960. He graduated
Yes.
and made 3 different Olympic teams
Yes.
as a shot putter
Yes.
and got a silver medal in 2 of them. I mean, think about that. A guy from Sikeston got the silver medal at the Olympics.
It's unbelievable.
So Jackson comes out in shotgun. Quick pass. Nice tackle by 16,
Marcus Sanders.
Marcus Sanders with a nice tackle. That was on the reception was number 4, Kai Crow. He's a sophomore receiver. Jackson does go fast. No huddle. Hand off to the running back. A gain of about 2. So Jackson
Tackle
quickly
there.
now faced with a 3rd and 4. The
Trez, nice tackle there.
Chase Fisher is the Jackson running back that got that carry.
I'm going to assume Jackson's probably in 4-down territory. I don't know. I have not seen them. I have not seen a snap of theirs all year.
I would think you're probably right. Handoff again. A lot of lead blockers. He's going to have a first down. That's Chase Fisher on the carry.
On that play.
And he got about 6 or 7 on that play.
Interesting, Derek. Just a quick note about the Jackson Indians. I went down, I think I was telling you last week, I went down and watched Mizzou and Auburn. Saw that debacle, by the way,
That
for
was
the
awful.
Mizzou Tigers. But you know who the starting center is for the Tigers?
I don't.
The Tollison kid from Jackson.
Oh,
from a couple
okay.
years
Yeah.
ago. Yep.
He was a monster.
Hadn't changed any.
That pass just out of the hands of number 2, Isaiah Davis.
matter of
He
fact-
was open. He had a step on the defensive back, but the pass was just barely overthrown. Now, he might have been able to lay out and make a diving effort at it.
As a matter of fact, I'm sure he's gotten bigger, the Tollison kid from Jackson. I'm sure they put some weight on him, but I mean, just seeing him from a distance, he's a large human.
I remember seeing a kind of a picture of him as a sophomore. I think it was posted somewhere. I remember seeing it. I'll tell you in just a second. It's Jackson, number 4 in motion. The quarterback on the draw up the middle, right at the marker. So it's going to be close. He might have got the first down.
They're spotting
Looks
it
like
there.
they are giving it. So
Connor
anyway,
Wallace
so
to tackle.
this Tollison, a huge kid as a sophomore. By his senior year, he was still huge, but he was chiseled up and
Right.
lost a lot of the baby fat or
Yeah,
whatever
right,
you
right.
call it. Out pass. That's going to be a touchdown for the Indians. So a nice move there past Isaiah Davis. Just a little out route and caught it and just made one little move, and he was in for the 6. But you could see his workout regimen, talking about Tollison here, even in high school. So you know when he got to college, he was going to be
ready.
ready to go.
And what were you going to say about Mr. Sherman? I'm
Okay,
sorry.
so anyway, it occurred to me that maybe our newspaper should do an article on George Woods. Not many people know about this guy.
We just about blocked that.
I do, yeah, and it's going to be a flag on roughing the kicker.
Oh.
Kicker's down.
Oh, shoot. I didn't see him hit the – I thought he slid by the kicker.
Yeah, he's down. They're calling for help because he got hit on his follow-through on that kick. So with 7:45 to go in the first quarter, Jackson strikes first, 6-0 Indians. We're going to take a quick break.
Come back.
We are back. I actually incorrectly said the score. It's 7-0. That extra point was good for the Indians. So the Indians are up 7-0. Kicker for the Indians is still down. They got him up now. And he's going to walk on his own power. He might have got twisted around a little bit when the Sikeston came for the block. So we'll see how he does moving forward. So I want to get back to this story. I will finish the George Woods story. I thought it'd be a good idea to do a story on him, and contacted the paper and Dennis Marshall, who's the sports editor there. So yeah, I'll get on that. So you got any guys, any idea on who I should contact? First name that popped in my head, Roger Sherman. I just knew if anybody knew anything about him, Roger Sherman would. And I thought Bill Priday would be a good one, and also Jerry DeMint. So good for Dennis Marshall. He did a really great article. They found a picture of George Woods from when he was out in California. And to add to that, he had the world record in the shot put for about 8 years. It was broken at some point, but 8 years he held the world record. Now, he never got a gold medal, so he set the world record outside of the Olympics.
Right.
But pretty incredible.
Oh,
Jackson's going to have the
What happened?
onside
Oh, did they
kick.
onside it?
Yeah, just a little.
I have a pole literally right in the way.
Yeah, hit one of the Sikeston players. So Jackson will have 1st and 10 on the 39. Those are the type of mistakes that you can't just give Jackson the freebies.
No, they're going to be tough enough.
They're good enough without you giving them the free stuff. Here's a pass over the middle, number 4 with the catch. And they're going to call it a catch, so he brought down. That is Kai Crow.
A sophomore, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Update to our later debacle, our earlier debacle. The south side is now covered, according to Mr. Beidler.
Any chaos will be quelled now.
It will be squelched.
Number 4, Kai Crow on the run to the outside. He's brought out of bounds about the 1-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and goal at the 1. Indians moving quickly. They're a no-huddle team. They get their plays in quick, catches the defense off guard. And quarterback into the end zone for the touchdown. So very quickly, Indians strike twice. That is Zach Calder. The quarterback's a senior for the Indians.
I better not say. I heard that I think it was the Calder kid and his family were at Cape last year and moved to Jackson, but that's just hearsay. So I don't know any truth to that. So interesting.
So we have a new kicker. The other kicker was injured on the last extra point. This one is Kai Crow.
I was going to say, this is the Kai Crow show.
We've called his name several times already. Kai Crow with the kick, and he bombed it. So 14-0 Indians with 7:04.
Wow. Next man up, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, obviously he must have been the one that kicked the I didn't pay attention to who kicked the onside kick. It had to be him because the other kid was hurt before that, right?
Yeah.
Or I assume it was. It could
if
have been
that
someone
kid
else.
kicks off, I
Yeah.
don't know if he does or not.
With that kick, it sure looked like there was plenty of leg there to do that.
We were talking about our history with Jackson, which dates back to the early days of Sikeston football.
Right.
They're one of our oldest rivals. And I haven't actually seen the updated series history. I think Sikeston is still in the lead, even though Jackson has really dominated this series the last 20 years. We're talking about it and just naming some of the times that we did beat them. We did them in 4 years in a row. And when Coach Gibbs was here, we beat them in 09, 10, 11, and 12. And the only time that we beat Jackson under Coach Eckley was 12. That was the last time Sikeston defeated
Really?
Jackson.
I didn't realize he's been there that long.
Yeah, so
It
this
doesn't
is
seem like it
his
has
10th year or so. Kylan Gross was a senior on that team.
But that was a good team.
And, yeah, we had a great team. And we defeated them pretty handily. I mean, it was a pretty convincing win. But that was the last time Sikeston's beaten Jackson. Aaron Williams on the kick return. And a little better return this time. He's across the 30. Brought down about the 32. So, say, well, that's last time Sikeston. Well, there's a lot of teams that haven't beaten Jackson in that stretch either. So,
I think that,
they've run roughshod over everybody.
Correct.
So, Sikeston is not the only team.
Right.
32-yard line. First down, Bulldogs.
Trying to pull up some scores here real quick, Deej, if I can find any. I know it's very early, but we'll see what we got going on.
Sikeston does have some pink socks and arm sleeves.
Yes, because it.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month coming up. Here comes a reverse. Got some room. That is Marcus Sanders, I believe. Good blocking on the outside by Dontrez Williams.
Did he fumble or was he down? Oh, they're calling him down.
They're going to rule that he was down.
I'm showing Farmington's up on Cape 6-0 in the first quarter. Kennett's up on, New Madrid County Central is up 6-0 on at Kennett. Dexter and Crothersville are tied. I assume it started. The rest of them have no score either, so we'll leave it at that.
That was a 9-yard gain for Sanders. Sikeston now with the full spread. They really only did that double wing for the first couple plays. Penalty flag coming down on that one. You can't see that they call offsides that time with Jackson. I was going to say you can't give Jackson the free stuff, but this will be against the Indians. They're going to give away the free stuff this time, and Sikeston will get a first down after the offsides.
Got a loyal, he'd be a Jackson fan, but he is a good guy. We'll let him slide. His name's Tyler TK, my buddy, lives in Memphis from Jackson. He just texted me. Glad we'll give him a little shout out.
Caden Craig dropping back, swings it out to Heckemeyer. Completed pass, but they're going to lose about 2 or 3 on that play. He was hit the second he caught it. I think Craig had enough time to kind of survey his other options. He might have been a little quick on the drop-off there to Heckemeyer.
In talking to some of my colleagues at work, we work for the same bank. Of course, we have a bank in Jackson, a bank in Cape. That's a shameless plug, I should say. But they say this Jackson team is not the same animal, but it's still a dangerous beast, I guess you could call it.
I think that's kind of the consensus.
Yeah.
Craig this time, just no running back in the backfield. He just took it and ran.
Looked like a design play, but
I think it was. It's a design draw, and just a short gain on that. So 3rd and 12. They tried that some throughout the year with Heckemeyer and Craig a couple times.
Yeah,
and it's had some success. You spread everything out, and you try to use your quarterback draw and get just a few yards, catch with their defense spread out so much, you're not going to have as many defenders. But Jackson was ready that time. So 3rd and 13.
They're almost playing like a cover 2 is what they look like. They got 2 back.
Fake to Trez Clark. Throws it out, and that might have been intercepted, and I believe it is. Couldn't see the number. But even if it was caught, there's not going to be much yardage there. So Jackson with a takeaway. They will have 1st and 10 in Bulldog territory at the 44.
My good buddy TK just said that if Jackson wins, this will be Eckley's 100th win at Jackson. That's pretty impressive. It's pretty short window there, or 10 odd years to get 100. So you're averaging 9, 10 wins a year. That's pretty impressive, I'll have to say. And somebody just said they had a 1-win season in there at one point. Wow.
Here comes running back coming outside. He's just picking his spots, brought down for a gain of 5 or so. Brody Young with the tackle.
So with a one-win season in there to get 100, that's pretty impressive.
I didn't think that he had a 1-win season. Okay, there's a pass to number 2. He actually fumbled the ball, and it bounced right back to him. Can you believe that? So Isaiah Davis on the reception, just a little short slant pass, makes a move, drops the ball, and it bounces right back up to him.
That's I just confirmed that Jackson and Cape were 0-9 one season, probably early in Eckley's tenure.
I don't think Eckley was coach of that team.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he was.
Well, I'll let you argue with Mr. Standridge over here.
In fact, I think his first year was the 1 year.
Sir? Eckley was not the coach. There we go. I was talking about Eckley's tenure. Sorry about that.
Pass deep and just over the outstretched hands. Number 24, Chase Fisher. So, as I stated earlier, Sikeston's only win against Eckley was his first year, and I think Jackson won 9 games that year, his first year.
Well,
that was when Dante Vandeven, who ended up being one of their great quarterbacks, he came in late and led them down the field on the final drive of the game, scored literally with no time left to make it. I think the final score was like 26-15, and they scored. Sikeston won the game. But they went down and scored with no time left, led by Dante Vandeven.
Gotcha.
That pass complete to Kai Crow. Guess who? He's caught a lot of passes already, and about a 13 or 14-yard gain there.
Is the timekeeper, Mr. Stanfield, supposed to keep up with stats too?
Not that I'm aware of.
I thought that's part of the gig. Is that part of the gig? He's telling me no. Well, we don't have any stats, so.
There we go. Ryan Lindsay, the man with the plan here. I'll tell you in just a second. That's going to be another Jackson touchdown. Was that 19, I believe? Carter Shipman is his name on that run. Jackson flexing their muscles early here. Now leading 20-0. Okay, I was a tad off. I said Eckley won 9. According to this, Ryan Lindsay, our friend over here, found a website that has Eckley at 7-3 their first year.
Okay.
I knew they weren't a bad team. I knew they were good.
Right.
2-point conversion is good. That was a quarterback or wildcat or whatever it was, but he just took it and ran straight in. So 22-0 with 3:28 left in the first quarter. So Eckley's first year 7-3. His second year he's 8-4, and then 10-2. He did have a 5-5 in there. I had no idea about that. And that was in 2015. Then 2016, 8-3, 17, 8-3, and 18 they were 11-1, and 19 they were 13-1. They lost in the state championship game in overtime. In 2020, they won state at 14-0. Just a tremendous career. So his worst season was 5-5. Eckley took over the program from Van Hitt, who coached about 4 years.
I was going to say that. I knew there was a gap in there between.
And Van Hitt was a longtime assistant coach under Carl Gross, who coached at Jackson for 20 years or so and had his own great success. Took him to the state championship game 2 or 3 different times. Okay, Jackson kicking deep. And looks like Aaron Williams has it at the 5. He's going to turn upfield. Got a little room, got some blocking that time. and brought down about the 30-yard line.
Got decent starting field position.
Sikeston will start this drive on their own 30-yard line. First down, Bulldogs.
Let me set the record straight for the comment I made a while ago. The Calder kid was not at Cape. He was a move-in from out of town. Adrian Fox was at Cape last year.
Okay, I remember that name.
Yeah.
There's another interception. Not sure who the intended receiver was. It may have been Bo Riddle. Intercepted. Was it? I can't see his number, Matt. Looks like
28 maybe?
Dustin Wilson if it's 28.
Pass intercepted by the Indians.
We're going to have 1st and 10 in the red zone of the Bulldogs. So about the 18, 19-yard line.
Ball placed at the 19-yard line. First down, Indians.
Indians in total control here early in this game. First quarter 22-0 with 3:10 to go. You know, a lot of people say they're not as good this year. Well, they sure look pretty good to me.
I was going to say, that's subjective, right?
Yeah, it is.
Might have been a block
A
in
little
the back.
swing pass out to the running back, number 2. He's knocked out of bounds. I believe that's Isaiah Davis.
It is. Looks like we had a block in the back at the first block there on the end, but it's not called. Maybe it wasn't.
Driven out of bounds at 3. First and goal, Indians.
First and goal now at the 3. Receiver in motion, quarterback on the counter into the end zone.
That is Adrian Fox, by the way.
That one's Fox. Or that Calder? Couldn't tell.
Looked like Adrian Fox. Isn't that a 9?
Now last week, Matt, Jackson played Cape Central, the big rivalry game up there. I actually watched the game on the stream. It was streamed on Misha.tv.
Oh, okay.
And Cape hung with them for a half. Jackson ended up putting it away. 42-14, I believe, was the final. Indians lining up, going for 2. I bet they run it again
This is a
behind
wildcat
that.
here.
Another Wildcat situation and untouched pretty much for the 2-point conversion. But Cape hung with them, and it was 12-7 in Jackson's favor. Cape was backed up to the 2-yard line and got a 98-yard touchdown to Marquell Murray, the basketball sensation.
But it got called back, I hear.
And it got called back with an offensive pass interference. Now, I've heard from multiple people that was not a good call, and there was nowhere near pass interference. The kid just fell, and they brought it back. If that didn't happen, the Cape takes the lead there in the second quarter, late second quarter, and might have the lead at the half. Instead, Jackson got a safety on the next play, and it just totally swung the momentum of the game. But everybody I talked to, there was a lot of people there because Sikeston had a Thursday night game, so there was a lot of people from Sikeston that went. They said there was no way that was pass interference. So who knows? You couldn't tell on the film.
According to
Dontrez Williams on this return. Trying to cut up field. Nice block from Luke Gadberry. Dontrez, he's well out of bounds. They're still hitting him, so here comes the flag.
Yeah. I got the official word from an official in the booth that they disagree with the call. How about that? With the offensive pass interference.
Who disagreed with it?
I shall not say a name, but it was.
So they said the call was incorrect.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
In his opinion, yes.
Everybody I talked to said it was bad.
I shan't say. I shan't say.
That was a late hit, personal foul against the Indians. That was as egregious as anything. Dontrez was out of bounds back past the 30. That kid was still hitting him up at the 40. Maybe because he was getting hit. So Sikeston with their best starting field position of this game. They're at the 43. Coming back. No, they're not.
The guy running the clock was quick on the draw here. Didn't get the officials time.
Well, the white hat wasn't ready, yeah. So now they're ready to go.
Got chop time, right?
Trez Clark in the backfield. He's going to get this handoff up the middle. Got a few yards out of it. About 4 on that play.
Downhill running there.
Yep, good run there. Second and 4. Sikeston's had a couple plays here and there where they're moving the ball, but just can't sustain anything.
No.
Got a first down, or got a couple first downs already, but just can't put anything, string anything together. Clark in the backfield. Heckemeyer over there at the, I guess the slot you would call that. There comes Clark with some yards. Still on his feet. Brought down at the Jackson 40. Great blocking on that play, led by Heckemeyer leading the charge, getting out ahead.
There was a stretch there where the Bulldogs didn't even score on the Indians for a few games. Has that been broken?
It was broken last year.
Okay.
The first play of the game. Sykes has scored against Jackson at Jackson last year as a bomb to C.J. Posey. Heckemeyer threw a bomb, and it was a perfect pass. C.J. caught it and ran in the end zone. And C.J., of course, had some game-breaking ability.
Yes.
If he could secure the pass and take off.
Going to the Naval Academy to run track, I assume.
No, it was West Point.
I'm sorry. I said Naval Academy. Yes, I meant.
So C.J. is making us all proud. What a great honor that is.
Just unbelievable.
I mean, it is not an easy deal to get into West Point.
You have to get all sorts of recommendations. I think you have to get one of the senators in your state to sign a letter or approve it or whatever.
But I believe you are correct that he does intend to run track, from what I understand.
Yeah. I think at most of those military academies, I think they require, I don't know, that might be a strong word, but I think you have to do some sort of extracurricular, whether it be an official capacity or some sort of intramural or whatever, but that's the way I understand that. That's what you have to do.
Clark that time on the carry. He's getting some workload here, and that time brought down for a 1-yard loss. It's going to be 3rd and 10. Clock ticking down here in the first quarter at about 50 seconds.
And I'm going to guess that the Bulldogs would be in 4-down territory here, Deej, wouldn't you?
Maybe it depends on what happens here.
Well,
if you get a few yards.
Yeah.
If you're faced with a...
Well, if it's 4th and 15, maybe not.
I mean, Jackson has had a short field all night.
Yes.
If you looked at the stats, I'm sure they don't have that many yards because they've been starting inside Bulldog territory all night long.
I think someone mentioned a while ago, I don't think they started on their side of the field yet.
Trez going in motion outside. Here comes a screen. It's covered up. It was probably not a bad thing that it was caught. Oh, they're going to call pass interference. I'm not sure.
The screen to the other side was wide open, and maybe it was just a decoy to look. But
Jackson's number 44, Titus Jackson. They're going to call pass interference on Jackson. That's a break for the Bulldogs because even if Heckemeyer had caught it, he's not going to go anywhere. He's got a guy right there.
Is that
Pass interference against the Indians.
maybe enough yards to give them a first down, or
that'll
is it an automatic? Is that an automatic first down?
It's not automatic, but that'll be
enough yardage to
a 15-yard penalty.
Oh, okay.
That was not a heads-up play by the Indians that time because –
it's nice to have a Misha official up here with it and knows the rules. Because I look over at Will Hollifield, and he's trying to keep the thing, and he's like, I don't know.
I was trying to do Will's job for him on the play clock, trying to do that and announce the game because I'd done that play clock 1,000 times. Like, start the clock, Will.
Yeah. Hey, Zach.
Sikeston in business here. 17 seconds to go in the first quarter. Trez Clark on this carry.
Nice
couple yards maybe.
We're just trying to run it up between the tackles, and this will be the last play of the first quarter, looks like.
They'll probably let that run out. So we're down at 5 seconds.
2nd and 9, Bulldogs.
Well, it stopped. Oh, no, there it goes. I don't know why it stopped, but that is the end of the first quarter. Jackson all over the Bulldogs that quarter, 30-0, but the Bulldogs are driving. Matt, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Kevin is a suicide survivor who jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge 22 years ago and lived. He now travels the world sharing his story of hope, healing, and recovery while teaching people of all ages the art of wellness and the ability to survive pain with true resilience. Kevin will be speaking at the Fieldhouse Tuesday, October 11th at 6 p.m. The event is free, and we would like to invite everyone in the community to come.
We are back in action here. Sikeston on the move, 2nd and 10 in Jackson territory. Hand off to Trez Clark. He's wrapped up immediately. Brought down for about a yard or two loss. If you're just joining us, Sikeston starting running back Keodrick Sherrod is injured for this game. Trez Clark pretty much replacing him in the backfield. I thought Heckemeyer would get a few more carries, but he's mostly been used as a blocker.
Yeah, looks like he's a tight end or something in that range.
H-back or they have different titles. Every team has a different title.
Yeah, kind of a slot or whatever you want to call it.
He's usually lined up, over at the slot. So it's 3rd and 11. Here comes Heckemeyer in motion, and he's gonna go out for a pass this time. Craig's gonna find him and just out of his reach. That'll bring up 4th down. Yeah, I don't know. He might. I thought they might consider pinning Jackson deep just to see if they could drive the field. I think they're just going to go for it, though, Matt.
Well, but I mean, the issue here, Derek, they're at the 25. If you kick it and you're going to kick it in the end zone, you net 5 yards.
You net
so
5-6 yards, yeah. So go for this. It's the deepest the Bulldogs have been tonight. They got their play. Clock is ticking, though. Don't trot. We're trotting out there. Now it's down to 6. They're going to have to call timeout.
Coach Pulley's walking down to the official. He called timeout.
And timeout is called. I think they actually would have gotten the playoff.
They did, but I don't.
Yeah,
he didn't want to risk it.
Well, when you're rushed, sometimes the play turns out sloppy.
Correct.
So they went ahead. Coach Pulley wanted against. They got timeouts to burn. That's their first of the half.
Did we talk about breast cancer awareness night? Did you say that already?
I just mentioned that it was that the Bulldogs are wearing their pink in support of that.
Yes. I don't. Sometimes the other team does, and I'm sure they will. They being Jackson, either will or probably have done something.
My guess is, even though it's September 30th, Breast Cancer Awareness Month is October, if I'm not mistaken. And this is Sikeston's last home game for a little while.
Correct.
They probably wanted to represent being.
That's a good point. I was thinking it was September. I think you're right. I think it is October.
And if you notice, the cheerleaders, the pink pom-poms, the pink Bulldog shirts, everybody in the crowd, the bums are pinked out.
Right.
So Jackson probably has a number of home games coming up, and they will do their part of the pink out game too. Usually the refs will even have pink whistles. There's all kinds of things that they do at these games. So we're back at it, 4th and 12. Right here in early part of the second quarter. Jackson up 30-0. Let's see what Sikeston's got drawn up on this play. Caden Craig rolling out. He's got some pressure. Pass was caught, and it's going to be short. It's going to be well short, but yeah, they did mark it a complete pass to Connor Wallace, but really only just a few yards on that catch. Craig was under pressure. I think if he stopped his rollout and backed up, he could have had a little more time.
I thought so, too. I thought he kind of rolled out into the pressure. Or if he would have stepped up maybe rather than rolled out. Correct.
Well, it's some inexperience. I mean,
that's right.
This is his first,
him.
Really his first year. I think he's a junior. His first year as a starting varsity quarterback.
He is a junior.
Yeah.
That's correct.
And he's learning on the fly.
Right.
So Jackson, quarterback, rolling through. He's got some yards and finally brought down by Trayvon Dukes.
Is it not? Is that number 5 or 9?
Number 9.
Yeah, that's Adrian Fox.
So that's Adrian Fox. Yes, he. I do believe he came from Cape Central. I remember that name.
I confirmed that, or a Jackson fan confirmed that with me. or for me. And DJ's just looking at the schedule. We being the Bulldogs, go to Cape Central next week. Come back home October 14th for homecoming. The big tailgate. Come out and support the SPS Foundation. It'll be a lot of fun, food, just a great time before the game against New Madrid County.
Intercepted by Connor Wallace.
Connor
in the right place. He's got
Connor.
a lot of room.
Go, Connor! Go, Connor!
He's tripped. Barely tripped up. Number 4 for the Indians saved the touchdown. That was Kai Crow.
Well, he's been all over the place.
He has been everywhere. But that time Fox had all kinds of time and just underthrew that ball, and Connor was right there. And he just about housed it. But Sikeston's going to have to work to get in the end zone here. They are at the 12-yard line.
And I was so rudely interrupted as I was pumping up the tailgate. Connor had to intercept it and about take it to the house.
We got a lot of time to talk about that tailgate.
No, I'm kidding. The tailgate's a fun time. Come out. Boy, there's a large crowd. We've probably 1,000 people at this thing.
Oh, yeah. It's always awesome to see that crowd.
Yeah, love it.
It feels like a college atmosphere.
It really does.
You know.
It really does. If you haven't got your tickets or you want to be a sponsor, see someone at the foundation.
That one overthrown. He had people open that time.
Yeah.
So Craig was rolling out. Again, I mean, people watching this, I mean, that is a tough play. He's rolling hard. Running is probably about as fast as he can, and then trying to throw an accurate pass.
Well, that, and it looked like he had to throw over somebody down to Dontrez,
Yeah.
kind of up and over. And on the run, that's a tough throw. Heck, that's a tough throw with your feet set. And Dontrez is a 6'3", 6'4", athletic kid. If it's anywhere around, he's going to snag it.
Second down.
But I like the aggressiveness.
Oh, it was the right play call. Just couldn't get the connection. This one goes to Trez Clark, trying to get some lead blocking and looked violent, but no penalty flag is thrown. He's brought down by number 3.
Terry.
He's a big kid.
Yes, he is.
Tony Terry Jr.
Like he just stuck a paw out there and
Yeah.
just raked him to the ground.
Going to
it's
Kansas.
What's he going? Is he going to go sing "Carry On My Wayward Son" or something? Going to Kansas? Kansas has a football team.
They're actually
they're really
undefeated
good
this year.
Yeah, I know.
But I wasn't aware that they had someone going to
I
Kansas.
did not. Well, shoo. He stuck a paw out and he didn't get far after that. Tell you what, we give props to Mr. Lindsay down there for our statistician / scoreboard guy.
He's like the Schwab from ESPN. He can find anything, or he knows anything. Remember the ESPN show Stump the Schwab? The guy knew everything. So our break here is
I thought you were talking
Bulldog
about the guy.
players down. I think it's a cramp, but well, maybe not. They're not really stretching him out, and I couldn't tell who it was.
Can't see with his back to us and on the ground. I thought you were talking about the guy on game day. Bald-headed guy. Bear, is that his name?
Bear.
The Bear.
Yeah, I don't know his name. He actually is a college football guru.
Yes.
The Schwab back
I do remember
on that
the
TV
Schwab.
show
Oh, yeah.
was all-encompassing. Any sport, he knew it. He was like a
Bo
researcher.
Riddle.
So that's not a cramp. He's got an injury.
Oh. Like a right knee or right ankle.
They're going to help him off the field. Did not see what happened. That was away from the action where the ball was. That's Sikeston's punter.
Yeah.
So he looks pretty ginger there. They may have to find somebody to punt the ball the rest of the night if he can't get back at it.
Be like the guy, where was he, in Arkansas?
Or just go for it.
Where was the guy? Was he in Arkansas, I think? Went on fourth down regardless of the situation.
That was in Arkansas.
Yeah,
or maybe Oklahoma or something.
I think he's a Division III football coach now, or Division II college coach.
Yeah.
I watched a video series on him. He's quite an interesting guy and uses a lot of analytics to come up with that stuff.
Third down play over the middle. And that got to Marcus Sanders' hands, but it was jarred loose. And you're getting in the territory. Oh, we have a penalty flag too. So holding. Excuse me. Roughing the passer. Not holding.
Wait.
Oh, wait. He pointed the wrong way. It was roughing the passer against Jackson.
No.
So that
Now
will,
that is an automatic first down. Now, we heard the
Yeah.
roughing penalties are an automatic first down.
we do have an official in the box this week. Chris Stanfield is aware of that rule and told us the roughing plays are automatic first downs. That didn't used to be the case. Used to pass interference and any kind of 15-yard penalty was automatic first down for a long time.
That's a break.
Yeah, it was. I didn't even see it.
I'm terrible at looking behind the play. I was following the ball and following Marcus as he went up for it.
So Sikeston with a fresh set of downs at the 7. But what I was saying, Marcus got hit and jarred loose. You don't. It's almost like they're cracking down on those type of plays, the defenseless receiver.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
you know,
definitely.
now, I'm not saying anything happened there, but
No,
that's the
no.
type of play
Correct.
that has been flagged in college and pros.
Let me get this play out of the way.
There's Trez
Down.
bulldozing
Running,
ahead
attaboy.
for about 2 or 3.
I was watching Utah State and BYU last night, and this, just as a fan, of course I have no dog in the fight with either of them, and I didn't care the outcome necessarily, but it frustrates me to watch when they call the targeting deal, when the defender goes in, and then the ball carrier or the receiver or whatever, gets not a fetal position, but sort of ducks into a defensive cover, and they hit helmets, and that wasn't what he was doing. He wasn't leading with his head, but they ended up hitting helmets because the guy ducked down and they hit helmets, and they throw the guy out, and they say he's targeting 15 yards. Just, it's frustrating to watch.
It is, because that's not what we grew up on. So
Touchdown
look at
right
that.
there.
Trez Clark with a canyon to run through that time.
Nice.
So a huge hole.
Walking there.
And it looked like kind of a counterplay. Trez
It
came
did.
in and kind of
Was.
countered back into it and really untouched into the end zone for that play. So Bulldogs on the board with 8:54 left in the half. Set up by Connor Wallace's interception and subsequent return for about 45 yards.
Looks like Connor is kicking the extra point here. Got the old swinging gate going, Deej.
He's their normal kicker.
Right.
But yeah,
Joseph is the holder. You never know. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know what we're going to run out of it, but
I bet they just kick it. And Connor
Boy,
is up
Connor.
and through. Connor's a good kicker.
yes, sir.
And, the swinging gate, you mentioned that. That kind of started, Sikeston team started doing that under Gibbs.
They did.
And Carl Gross at Jackson did it all the time. We always kind of snickered at, look at, they're not going to do anything with that. And sure enough, they'd run it and get a 2-point conversion or something.
Right, I was going to say, that's just a numbers thing, right? You get the numbers on one side and go.
We'd snicker at them. Look at that. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. But, as kids, you don't know any better than your kids.
Right.
Now here the Bulldogs doing it all the time, and they've had success doing it too. I mean, if you catch a team just snoozing for just 1 second, you could score a 2-point conversion off that.
That's right. That's right.
It's just a quick count. Do you have them outnumbered in a certain area?
Right.
If it's not, then you just go line up and kick the extra point.
Right.
The Bulldogs break the shutout. Second year in a row that's happened. We were just talking about, I think Sikeston went about 4 years without scoring on the Indians. So 30-7 now with 8:54 left in the game. Or, excuse me, left in the half. Spoke.
You're better than that.
The scoreboard.
That's
shows-
why I look. It
The
shows,
scoreboard shows 6, but
It's got it on 7. It shows
the
7
scoreboard
in
has
front of the scorekeeper
been acting
here.
funny tonight.
That's the guy running it is the main thing.
There it goes.
There we go.
But it's earlier when the clock was ticking, it just froze, and then it jumped to 1 second. So the scoreboard's acting kind of funny. Short kick. That one's going to bounce and roll. See if Sikeston gets some coverage. Decent coverage on that play.
Bring him down about 30.
About to 30.
Ball returned to the Indians, 31-yard line. First down, Jackson.
I'll find some more scores here, Deej. There's a cool little score stream app that allows folks at the games to update games and Okay, so we got New Madrid Central over Kennett 20-14 in the second quarter.
Chase Fisher on the carry.
Okay. We got Farmington up 12-7 over Cape Central Show in first quarter. Dexter and Crothersville tied at 14 in the second quarter. And that's all I've got right now. There's some Kentucky scores. I don't know where I got those on there. But.
Some interesting games there you just named. Sikeston in the backfield for that one, brought down for a loss.
It's like the Calder kids back in now taking snaps.
The Fox just threw that interception. They may do this all year. I don't know if they've been doing this.
Definitely.
But he threw that last pick, and now Calder's back in. And they're going to ride over the middle. Wide open to number 2, Isaiah Davis. Just a little short slant there.
Isaiah Davis
for a first down.
Isaiah Davis and Kai Crow have been getting lots of touches tonight.
Right up the middle for another 3 yards there.
You notice how I was
Chase Fisher again.
I'm sitting here thinking, Derek, when Jackson, when they substitute, even though they're on they call lightning tempo or whatever they call it, don't they have to allow the defense time to substitute, correct?
I don't know if that's a high school rule.
Or I see they do it in the NFL. They'll sit there over the ball and just kind of not let them snap it.
I don't know if that's a high school rule, but I don't know to answer that question. That run up the middle for a gain of 4. Now 3rd and 1.
I'm going to ask Mr. Stanfield.
We have an expert up here.
Is that because they're running lightning tempo and they substitute? Do the officials allow the defense to substitute like they do in the NFL, or you just that's not a high school rule? Okay. Uh-oh.
Sikeston's going to have too many on the field, so just as we're talking about, they get caught with it.
Yeah.
And that would have been 4th down, but they're going to get an automatic first after this one because that 5-yard penalty will give the Indians the first.
Yeah, that's another.
I didn't think that was a high school rule. That maybe in college.
I see them. They do it in the NFL for sure because they'll stand over the ball and won't let them snap it.
Illegal participation is the official call there.
Why do they say
or illegal substitution or whatever he signaled?
It's not really illegal. They're not going to go to jail for it, correct?
Illegal substitution on the Bulldogs. Do what, Matt?
They don't go to jail for it, do they? It's really not illegal. It's against the rules.
That's how they call it. Have you seen George Carlin stand up on it? It's very militaristic football. Baseball's in a park. It's the greatest bit
George
ever.
Carlin's great. Oh! Joseph read that one early.
Yep, swung out to the receiver, and he got about 15 on that play. And that was Kai Crow again. He's having a game. 6:28 left in the half.
I was going to say, we got somebody coming in. Somebody's going to have to go off here.
Here comes more substitutions.
And we're not. He called timeout.
Yeah, Coach Pulley.
Yeah, he's a little frustrated.
I think he's wanting our substitutions to get in quicker, and they're just not getting them in and out. Jackson's tempo causes a lot of trouble, and you just saw one example of how.
Correct.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Your career. Visit trcc.edu today. Having trouble hearing the game? Missouri Delta audiologist Jessica Havner is now accepting new patients of all ages. Call 472-7134 to schedule an appointment. Locally owned and headquartered in Southeast Missouri, First Midwest Bank has been a part of the Sikeston community for 30 years. Stop by one of our 2 Sikeston locations or visit onemidwest.com to see how we can help you make your financial dreams a reality.
Jackson, after the first down pass, they're now at the 27. Handoff up the middle to Fisher.
Uh-oh.
Trying to remember that kid's name. He's got the ball a lot as well.
Rashid Abdul Kadir looked like he went down.
He's back up now. Helped
I
up.
saw him. Uh-oh, he's got it's holding his. Oh, never mind. I thought it was his right arm, then he switched. It looks like he's holding something different. Hopefully, I'm sure he'll be okay.
2nd and 6 for the Indians. Calder over the middle. He's wide open, and that's a touchdown for the Indians. Kai Crow once again on the receiving end of that pass. Jackson strikes again. 36-7. All kinds of time for the quarterback. The receivers are getting open.
I think it's Tony Terry. I haven't noticed him on the extra point attempt before. But he's out there. Is he? Oh, my goodness.
He's a big guy.
He is a large young man.
He's the lead blocker on these plays. They've been running 2-point conversions since they lost their kicker. And just pretty easily into the end zone for the 2 that time. So it's 38-7 for the Indians.
If he's leading the way, I think I'd get out of there too.
So 6:02 to go in the half. Jackson answers Sikeston's touchdown. So, but something to build on, Bulldogs, after that interception. Maybe that can spark a little bit of offense for Sikeston.
Now the key here, Derek, is to make sure we get decent field position here. We've had a couple of mental lapses. Again, would that affect the change? No, probably not. But there are a couple of scores that we made it a little easier than we should have. Not getting off the field and
you look at this. It's 38-7. I mean, it's pretty clear that Jackson has established a commanding lead. I mean, you're probably not looking at, well, we can rally to win this game. You don't look at it in those terms. No. You look at it, let's do something good on this drive. Let's put some points on the board on this drive.
A very interesting kickoff coverage, the way they're lining up.
Yeah, and they did that against Cape Central too. It's very different. But you look at it as small steps. Let's get some yards on this play. Let's get some yards on this drive.
Just let that go.
That one is into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. In high school, any kick that reaches the end zone is an automatic touchback.
And you can call fair catch now on a kickoff, correct or no? In high school?
I don't know in high school. I don't know if you can.
Fair catch on the kickoff?
You definitely can.
You can, okay.
In the upper collegiate and pros.
Right. I think they're a fair catch doesn't give you a touchback. Okay, so you just get it where you catch it. Oh, geez. Okay, I didn't know that. That's a different.
Yeah,
so there's lots
high school has not established some of those rules.
Right.
The collegiate game can be so violent. They gave those fair catch rules.
Right.
And you get the ball at the 25.
Right.
Craig on the option pitches out to Clark, and nothing there. So a loss of 2. First option play we've seen from the Bulldogs.
Wrinkle.
And Jackson read it perfectly.
Mm-hmm. They're so disciplined that they don't get out of sorts. They made sure that they had their assignments down, and you block the guy in front of you or tackle the guy in front of you, and
they've been that way for a long time.
Oh
now.
no, for sure. Yeah, this is nothing new here. So
we
down to 7-5-4. We're not going to get this
use
play
another
off.
timeout. So Sikeston's going to use their last timeout of the half to avoid a delay of game. We mentioned Jackson did lose their first 2 games of the year.
Yeah, they took a couple juggernauts.
A double overtime loss to Edwardsville, Illinois, who is always solid.
Yeah,
and obviously good. You're talking about a very large school there in the East St. Louis area.
Right.
And then lost to, I believe it was Francis Howell.
That's correct. Ranked in one of the upper classes.
Just an elite program up in the St. Louis area, up around O'Fallon, St. Charles or so. But since then, Jackson has just demolished everybody in their path.
Correct.
Cape gave them a pretty good run for a half.
I would say that's as close as a game that they've had after the first 2.
I believe so. I mean, it was a good game for a half. And like I said, we mentioned that Cape had a 98-yard touchdown that was called back with an offensive pass interference that was, shall we say, questionable. Cape would have had the lead going into the half with that play. So 2nd and 12. Bulldogs trying to get out of the back of their end zone. They're backed up on the 18. Caden Craig takes the snap. Throws it out to, is that Green? Andrew Green, I believe. A little gain of 7 or so.
It is Andrew Green.
Andrew Green.
Just about had a...
Speaking of Roger Sherman, that is his grandson.
Comes from fine lineage.
So it'll be a 3rd and 6.
Nice little play there, a little drag route that was...
6-yard gain of the play, 3rd and 6 Bulldogs.
That's...
Andrew's got a few catches this year.
Yeah. We haven't targeted... No, I was going to say we haven't targeted Dontrez.
He's kind of out here on his own.
Yeah.
One-on-one coverage unless that
like
linebacker's...
Yeah,
they're in a zone. So... Lucky to get away with it. That was just incomplete, but lucky they didn't have an interception. Craig was under duress. He had men bringing him down, and he just tried to get rid of it to avoid the sack, and it got deflected at the line of scrimmage, just about intercepted. But Sikeston forced to punt. Let's see who's back there. Looks like Connor Wallace. He has some punting experience. He's been back there as a freshman. I remember he punted some. Gage Rolling was the quarterback and punter, and Gage got injured for a couple games, and Connor was a freshman and went out there and punted. So he's got some experience as a punter.
Snap the ball, fellas.
Clock is ticking. No, they're going to fake it. Heckemeyer gets it. He's got a lot of room down the sideline and brought down at the 50. Did not see that coming.
I did not.
Fooled everybody, including the Indians, including me.
Well, hey, I knew it was coming.
Oh, you called it, did you?
I called it. I knew it.
That is Sikeston's biggest play of the game. That was about a 25-yard run by Heckemeyer.
Biggest play outside of the pick, almost 6.
Right, the interception.
Biggest offensive play ever.
Correct.
Yeah, no, I agree. That was a great play. Great. It's a gutsy call. It's a great call now that it worked, right?
Exactly.
Otherwise, we're thinking, what in the heck are they doing?
Exactly.
No, gutsy call, guys.
And really good. Fumble on the play. Not sure what happened there, but Craig was able to secure it.
Well, I looked up and saw the scoreboard went blank, and so I went, and it had my attention. Mr. Lindsay's on it. He's got it.
Looks like Craig is coming out. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe they just subbed him out. He seems fine. I didn't. So I was thinking maybe it was an injury, but he's going back in.
That was a. They come over to the sideline.
I got you.
Back in the day, you remember we used to run receivers in all the time.
I was one of those guys. The receiver, Coach Vickery would give you the play and you run it in. You just hope you didn't forget it when you ran in.
Did you ever tell them one that was going your way? We're not running.
No, I never did that.
Not running this dive. We're gonna.
That is Colt Parker on the catch. Gained about 2 or 3 there.
Hey, we're not running this dive. We're running the fly route.
Yeah, hit
me. 82.
Hit me on the bomb. That's right. Unfortunately, I don't think the pass would come my way, even if I called that. We're going to look for these more dynamic playmakers than old Deej.
Old Deej. 82, was it?
I was number 80.
80, there we go. Tony Hill.
Jerry Rice.
There we go.
3rd and 16. Caden Craig takes the shotgun snap, gives it to Trez Clark. He is fighting for yards. He got 6 out of nothing. He should have been brought down for no gain, but he got about 6 yards out of that, kept his balance.
Coach Pulley, I see him pointing ahead. We're going.
So 4th and 10.
Coach King has already given the play. What do we call on 4th and 10?
They called that little run there by Clark, and I bet it was set up just exactly to do this.
Right.
Get us in a position to get a first down on the next play. They had already made up their mind that they're going for this.
I think we need to at least throw it to the marker, correct?
I think you're right. Got to give them some time. Let's see what happens. Only a 3-man rush. You got some time.
Oh, we got hit.
Heckemeyer on the catch. Going to be short.
Ooh,
so,
I don't know.
Yeah, about 2 yards short, so about an 8-yard gain. It was just a three-man rush, but Sikeston did not protect Craig. And Heckemeyer is slow to get up.
We picked two. They ran Trez Clark to Tony Terry's side, too. If you notice that, they were double-teaming him to keep him out of there. Well, it looks like it was short. So
yeah, it was about a yard or two short.
That's why I sort of mentioned, I think we got to kind of throw it to the marker rather than try to, because they're a sure tackling bunch.
Well, I think the intent was there, but Craig had to get rid of it because he's under pressure.
Yeah. I'm with you.
So Jackson will have 1st and 10 at the 43. They have 1:46 left in the half. And going up top to number 2, that's Isaiah Davis. Just kind of a little post route there. Looked like one-on-one coverage.
It's like a seam route. Those things are so hard to cover. We had decent pressure there. It looked like we were getting toward the backfield.
Jackson on the move quickly. 1st and 10 at the Sikeston 31 with 1:33 left in the half.
Yeah, Adrian Fox is back in. Like you said, it's interesting how they switch it up.
He swings it outside, and a lot of room out there. Good blocking on the outside. And they're going to call a hold on that. So it was good blocking until he held. That touchdown's going to come back. That was, guess who, Kai Crow on the catch. They swung it out there, and he had a lot of room. They're going to call a hold.
From the spot.
Yes, it will. So it'll go back 10 yards from about the 17 or 18, so it'll be placed about the 27 or 8. The blocking was good, and then it looked like he held just a little bit there at the end.
DJ, if I mentioned this is my favorite time of the year. I absolutely
I love it. I love the fall.
I love it. You can go home, start a little fire, hang out outside.
The weather just perfect.
Watch your NL Central champion, St. Louis Cardinals, 700.
They're pretty good this year.
Well, I looked, and it said that looked like the Cardinals would play either Milwaukee or Philadelphia, and those were they're in a just about a dead heat.
That NL East is a tough division this year. Going up top and a touch. Oh, he dropped it. I thought he had it. That was a little too soon. That's Kai Crow. Pretty well thrown pass there by Fox.
It was.
And Crow was wide open.
Yeah, he was.
And
like they're putting Don Trez back in on the side. They were
got to make some adjustments because he's open over there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 7 with 1:10 to go in the half. There's another fake. Fox has some time. He's trying to run around. Throws it into the end zone. That one is also dropped.
Wow.
He is putting these passes pretty well where only his guys can make a play on that. Now, they're tough catches.
Yes.
These guys are going to have to make over-the-shoulder catches into the end zone. But these are pretty good passes. That one was under while he's on the run.
Right.
So 3rd and 7. Let's see what they draw up here. I bet this is going to be. They're going to swing it out to Kai Crow over here.
I guess he's going to step back. There he goes. He stepped back. Oh, well, that's kind of the old tunnel screen, as they call it.
And I was right on the receiver. I didn't know that was the play they're going to run. That was kind of a slip screen or whatever you might.
Yeah, they call
tunnel
it
screen, bubble screen,
middle screen, whatever. I saw him. I bet he steps back just when that lineup. Sure enough, he took 2 steps back and turned inside.
So 1st and 10.
Gosh, the way they plays, I try to get it to him every time.
Yeah, he's a weapon. A little pressure this time. That's a fumble.
Oh, my gosh.
But it's picked up by Jackson.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah, but he's going to get really no gain on it.
You know what, though?
Jackson's going to call timeout.
When you're really good, you get those breaks. I mean, they fumbled twice now. The one you said bounced right back to him, and this one popped right into his hand.
That was really interesting. The Jackson receiver running the ball, bounces on the ground, and pops right up to him. That time the Jackson quarterback got sacked, and the ball pops up straight in the air, and the Jackson running back comes down with it.
You know how I sometimes during a basketball game I think, uh-oh. When the other team banks in a 3, you're thinking, oh, boy. This might be a little tougher.
Yeah, those lucky things you can't plan for.
Oh, my gosh. You're like, what in the world? The guy's guarded and flings it. And you're thinking, holy crap. And that was one of those holy crap moments when the guy dropped it. We had pressure. He didn't see it coming. Actually, it was from his front side.
Well, it was coming from his back, where his blind side.
No, he had him on the front side. He was coming from his right. But anyway, whatever.
Yeah,
I think he was turned.
Sure.
He was turned, but it was still his front side.
Yeah.
But he hit him.
You're right.
And the ball popped out and went right to the running back. And you're thinking, well.
You're right about that, actually. Yeah. Well, don't go away at halftime. We're going to have our Hall of Fame, Wall of Fame inductions coming up.
There's not many times I get to correct Deej, and
Yeah,
they're so few and far in between.
New quarterback in. Is that Calder? He's going to fire deep.
Picked. Oh.
That was almost intercepted by two Bulldogs. It was
Dontrez and Connor, and they both saw it.
Connor and Dontrez were both there. Sikeston is really probably their best two defensive backs. And now Jackson's faced with, I thought it was fourth. Is it only 3rd and 10? Just 3rd and 10, I guess. So
I've been informed that the quarterback was sacked by Jace Riddle earlier.
Jace Riddle.
Yeah.
So here we go, 3rd and 10. Calder rolling out.
Did that get tipped?
And looks like
short.
they're going to give him that catch.
Yeah.
He's a little short. Isaiah Davis on that reception. So it's going to be 4th and 1 with 15. I believe that clock should have been stopped. Yeah, the clock ran a little bit.
Yeah,
should be 15.9 seconds.
Only if we had an mission official up here running it or something. I mean,
I'm not sure. I think they're going to put some more time on the clock here. Because it should have been stopped because it was out of bounds. The thing is, the referee yells the time. I think what he does, he's going to.
He's pointing. You're in the dark.
I
We
can't
see you.
But they pretty much signal up to the press box. And then usually the coach is above us. So they're going to radio up. So Jackson takes time out anyway. They still have, after that one, they'll still have one left. So 20 seconds we hear on the radio that they're going to put on the clock. Yeah. I thought it was stopped at 15, but maybe the scoreboard was doing that weird stuff where it stops in the middle, but it's still ticking. So it's going to be 4th and 1 with 20 seconds to go. Jackson has one timeout left. Ball spotted at the 10-yard line. So tonight's Hall of Fame inductions, as we mentioned earlier, Roger Sherman is going to be recognized. I believe he's already in the Hall of Fame. He's going to be recognized on the Wall of Fame. The Hall of Fame, Taisha Mitchell. Remember Taisha Mitchell, the girls basketball player? She was
absolutely.
She was all-state. Played for Matt Shawnoff, and she may have played for Alicia Wills. Was she on that team too? I can't remember. But she was all-state, one of Sikeston's better players. So here we are, Jackson going forward on 4th and 1. A lot of room for Isaiah Davis, and he was untouched, Matt.
Goodness.
From a 4th and 1 from the 10.
Yeah.
And just they lined up like they do their two-point conversions and get every blocker they got, and nobody laid a hand on him. So Jackson scores again. 15 seconds left in the half. Now they're going to go for 2. I bet they run it again.
Looks like the same exact play they just ran.
And he's going to be in again. I almost think they could do that all night. I would do it until Sikeston proved they could stop it.
Yeah.
But 46-7 in favor of the Indians. So let's see. So Taisha Mitchell, girls basketball player, first team All-State.
Yeah, she was a really good player.
She was tough. Real tough. She played on a couple conference champion teams, I believe. Josh Stinnett, former Bulldog football player. What a tough player he was. And also an outstanding wrestler.
Yes.
Just a state qualifier, I believe he placed. They got his stuff in here. Let's see. took 4th in the state. We happen to have the wrestling coach in the box with us, so. Okay,
All-time
we're
wins
getting all the
leader,
scoop. All-time
175
wins leader at Sikeston with 175 wins. Well, that's a bunch of wins.
That's a boatload.
He was a great kid, too.
Yes.
But what an incredible
Did he get hurt?
wrestler.
He did.
He hurt his he hurt himself in the third place match, hurt his neck.
Yeah.
And what a great football career. I don't think he was all-state in that.
I think wrestling was his.
But he was at least all-conference. But he's not being inducted for his football exploits. He's being inducted for his wrestling because he was an all-state wrestler, which is a qualifier to get into the Hall of Fame. And also the Bulldogs 2017 cheerleading team, which also did very well. Trez is going to be down right there. So Sikeston will probably take a knee anyway. Trez is probably hoping to get a good return on that kick return.
Derek, I went out for wrestling once. I didn't see the ropes.
So 2017 cheerleading team.
Or at least it says in the program. Oh, Derek, I went out for wrestling one time, and I was disappointed when I didn't see the ropes and didn't have boots I could wear, so I just decided to go the other way.
Your tights and your boots. You should have worn Iron Sheik boots with the little curl on it. Load up the boots with the weapons.
I was putting the powder in my waistband.
Heckemeyer actually back at quarterback. They're going to run a play here. Let's see. He's going to launch one. Deep to Trez. Oh! That was in his hands.
Wow.
I tell you, if he caught it, he had a chance to score.
Yeah.
That would have been an 80-yard touchdown if he hung on.
Oh,
what a perfect pass by Heckemeyer.
Wow. Hey.
Come right in, first play behind center. And
throw it again.
Yeah.
Throw that baby again.
That's very similar to the play that we talked about earlier about Cape's 98-yard touchdown, just a streak down the field.
Yeah.
The 98-yard touchdown that didn't count, I should say.
There's nobody out there. He's out there on an island. Throw it up there if you give him a second or two.
Pressure this time under Heckemeyer. He gets
throwing
hit.
It up. Go get it, Don Trez.
That one's intercepted. Number 1 with the pick. And they're going to get him down or out of bounds at least. Yeah. And that's the end of the half. That number 1 was T.J. Altenthal with that interception. That one Heckemeyer didn't get his full strength on. He got hit as he threw.
Right.
But a little excitement to end the half there. But that first half belonged to Jackson. They lead the Bulldogs 46-7. Stick around for halftime with the Hall of Fame induction, Wall of Fame honorees, and the Sikeston Bulldog Marching Band. We'll be back in 20 minutes.
For your halftime entertainment, the Sikeston Public Schools presents the Sikeston Marching Band under the direction of Darren Steelman and Kim Whitehead. The drum major is Allison Jones. Trumpet soloist is Parker Jackson. The band will pay homage to the Beatles with their performance of Can't Buy Me Love, Let It Be, and A Hard Day's Night. Drum major Allison Jones, is your band ready? You may take the field in exhibition. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sikeston Marching Band. Once again, good evening and welcome to Sikeston Public Schools Stadium for tonight's game. Tonight, we want to introduce the 2022 honorees of Sikeston's Hall of Fame. Inductees' names and teams are featured in the Sikeston Fieldhouse, and the inductees also receive a certificate recognizing their outstanding contributions to the Sikeston Bulldogs. There are no honor wall recipients for 2022, but before we honor our Hall of Fame athletes and team, we want to recognize Roger Sherman, a very special person to the community and Sikeston Public Schools. Mr. Sherman created the Hall of Fame Honor Wall recognition, which now has become a Bulldog tradition. Please direct your attention to the video screen on the north side of the football stadium.
And you were chairman from 1996 until this year.
Yes. I'm a strong believer in student activities. And I believe you have to promote your school because they have people that care about the school, and you need to acknowledge the fact that they try to make the school or provide for the school. And I think that's so important. We began to really get serious with it about 95, 96, somewhere in there, maybe in 96. And we met, I think we had 2 large group meetings. And then we appointed a committee, and we began to work on it. And you know, it was surprising how many people really felt that was the thing to do. Again, activities are so important, and this community, the community leaders supported us so much.
Originator of the Hall of Fame and Honor Wall, Roger Sherman has been a pillar of the Sikeston community and Sikeston Public Schools. Now, after 26 years as the steering committee chairman, Sherman has resigned from his duties to spend time with family and continue to support this community and Bulldog Nation. Hired in 1960 as a history and physical education teacher, as well as assistant football and track coach, Sherman became the high school assistant principal in 1964 and head principal in 1965. In his last 5 years as high school principal, Sherman was also the director of secondary education. He eventually retired from the district in 1996 after an illustrious career. Sherman was very passionate and determined to create the Hall of Fame Honor Wall for Sikeston Public Schools. He began his quest by talking to parent groups, Sikeston business leaders and organizations, and the Ministerial Alliance. Since 1996, the Hall of Fame Honor Wall induction has been an integral part of the Bulldogs football season. Because of Sherman's vision and dedication, one Friday is set aside to honor individuals and teams for their outstanding achievements, meritorious service, and athletic honors. Thank you, Roger Sherman, for your service to Sikeston and the school district. You represent the heart and soul of Bulldog Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Roger Sherman. The following Hall of Fame athletes and teams received all-state or post-secondary honors for their athletic achievements in their respective sports. Through their participation in high school sports, they brought recognition to Bulldog Nation. First up, Taisha Mitchell. Taisha Mitchell, 2017 basketball star for the Lady Bulldogs, amassed a 3-year stellar season on the court. A team captain, Mitchell received first-team all-conference honors her sophomore, junior, and senior years, and first-team all-district honors her sophomore, junior, and senior years. Scoring 1,060 points in her career, Mitchell was named to the Kelso Supply and Hillsboro All-Tournament teams and Standard Democrat Player of the Week. After her senior season, Mitchell was awarded the Bob Gray Award for the SEMO Conference, the first Sikeston girls basketball player to achieve this honor. She is also selected to the Missouri Basketball Coaches Association All-State Team and recognized as a SEMO Ball finalist. Ladies and gentlemen, Taisha Mitchell. Next up, Josh Stinnett. A 2017 graduate, Josh Stinnett dominated the wrestling mat. As slick as he could be, Stinnett won match after match because of his athletic, quick, and smooth moves. Mentally tough and committed to his team, Stinnett compiled an astonishing list of honors. He holds 3 Bulldog season records. First, with 29 falls his senior year. First place with 50 wins his junior year. And first place with 53 wins his senior year. He holds 4 career records. 5th place with 236 takedowns. 4th place with 105 career escapes. First place with 85 falls. And first place with 175 wins. In his senior year, Stinnett placed first at the Tiger Classic, second at the Hillsboro Duels, first at Callaway County Laker Invitational, first at the SEMO Conference Tournament, and second at Districts. Stinnett was named the SEMO Conference Most Valuable Wrestler and was the Class 3 4th place All-State winner. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Stinnett. And finally, the 2017 cheerleading team. The 2000 Bulldog cheerleading team competed in the 3A large class to showcase their talent and powerful skills. Led by 3 seniors who had high hopes, the cheer athletes pushed themselves to execute a routine filled with intense skills. Once again, the cheerleaders knew they had to win first place, but to do so, they had to outperform St. Francis Borgia High School. Goals were set, practices were daily and grueling, strength training became a priority. A shining performance was the result. The Bulldog cheerleading team began their routine with exceptional tumbling and stunting. An energized cheer followed that brought spectators to their feet. Saving the best for last, the team finished with a top-notch dance, all moves in sync. Losing only to Borgia, the team was proud of their second-place state honor in such a competitive division. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2017 cheerleading team. And now let's hear it for all of our honorees this evening. Thank you for your contribution to Sikeston Public Schools and Bulldog Nation.
It's too many eyes. Hey.
Y'all are pouring them in the parking lot, I'll take one. So if y'all are pouring them in the parking lot, I'll take one.
It's like wow. Yeah, Taylor Ford.
15? Yeah, 15. Get there. Are you sure it's 15? I think it's 10. 15. Are you sure? Good to do this? You know you want me to put Carter in. Go! Catch the ball anyway. No. You're catching it and you makes it look good.
Check. 1, 2, check, check. Check.
And we are back for the start of this second half. Derek James and Matt Tanner on the mics, bringing you the action of Sikeston Bulldog football. Jackson, excuse me.
No, I'm going to say quick update of utmost importance. Mr. Poolhouse, it's 7:01.
That's very important.
Very important.
Jackson leading this game 46-7. And the Bulldogs will be kicking off. Connor Wallace ready for the kick.
Excuse me, Deej, as I put on my spectacles.
Somebody asked me earlier, you feel good about the Dodgers in the postseason? Well, we have 108 wins and counting. Probably going to end up with over 110 wins,
which means absolutely nothing starting next week.
A franchise record. And no, it doesn't, because how often does the team with the best record win the World Series? It doesn't always happen.
Not very often.
That hit the Jackson player, but it went out of bounds. So Jackson will have the ball right there. But it happens all the time. The wild card team will end up winning it or something.
Yeah, I just got a text message that they're hearing us over the intercom. Uh-oh.
Let's mute this so we can solve the problem. All right, we're going to try and test this and see if we get these mics figured out. So, penalty flag comes in. Looks like it's going to be against the Bulldogs. That's number 5, Rashid Abu Kadir, and they're going to call personal foul against him. I didn't see the play. We were working on the mic situation. We're having a little technical difficulties with
I think it's fixed.
some things here. But yeah, anyway, going back to what we're talking about. And no, it doesn't mean anything. The Dodgers pitching has been decimated.
Right.
They have Walker Buehler's out for the season.
Oh, wow.
Tony,
he's a freaking
he's their ace going into the year. Tony Gonsolin, who has become their ace, has been out for over a month, and they don't even know if he'll be back. And they've just pretty much run out of pitching. So that's going to be a problem come postseason. Even if they finish with 110 wins, it's just probably not going to matter. But they have a great offense, so we'll see what happens. Pass complete. No, he dropped it. That's Kai Crow on the drop. He had a lot of room on that. And that's a rare drop for the Jackson offense.
Surprised Jackson still has as many starters in there at this point, but maybe they don't. It's hard for me to tell. I still got the starting quarterback.
Definitely their top receivers are still in and starting running back. It looks to me like that's their main crew. Let's see there. They swing it over to Isaiah Davis.
Again.
He just,
nice.
used some speed there.
Yep.
Sikeston couldn't catch him. He just caught it and kind of outran the Bulldogs to the corner. And he is brought down at the 6-yard line. So first and goal at the 6. That one going to Fisher. He's into the end zone. So Jackson adds to their lead. 9-10 to go in the third quarter. 52-7 in favor of the Indians. They lost their kicker on the first extra point they attempted. Lost him to an injury. He got hit. Roughing the kicker was called, and they have been going for 2 ever. Actually, they did kick one more extra point, but they've gone for 2 ever since. Looking to throw this one. They've gotten them pretty easily, but that pass is also complete. So a 2-point conversion pass is good, and it's now 54-7.
And have been a proud supporter of the Sikeston Bulldogs for many years. Montgomery Bank has 5 locations in southeast Missouri, 2 here in Sikeston, 2 in Cape, and 1 in Jackson, along with 5 in the St. Louis area. They're easy to find on social media or online at montgomerybank.com.
And Jackson set to kick off with 9:10 to go here in the third quarter.
Derek, speaking of Albert Pujols hitting 701, I was how do I want to say it? Of course, I'm a huge Cardinal fan, regardless. I was pretty frustrated that he left, but on the other hand, the Cardinals could not have paid him the salary. That would have just leveraged the whole franchise, and that would have just been suicide, in my opinion.
Well, they were prepared to. They offered him, if I remember, almost it was a 9-year deal.
I was going to say it was a little less,
just slightly less, and the Angels offered him a 10-year deal.
Yeah.
And then he took that offer. I think he just wanted to leave because the deal was not that much different.
No, my frustration with it is he kept saying, there were other things and whatever. And at the end of the day, just say it's more money. And, that was kind of where I was.
I mean, 9 year, 10 years, it's 6 one, half dozen the other.
Right,
I mean,
right,
it's
right,
basically
right.
it's going to take you into your 40s.
Right.
And I don't know.
You're going to be set for your whole life.
Yeah, Trez Clark on
Nice
this
run,
carry.
Trez.
Nice run by Trez. Got a gain of 12 on that run.
But so when he brought him back, and I know there are a lot of people that love him, and I was a little, not skeptical. I was a little, I wasn't sure. I wasn't a big fan of it at first. I have to say I'm glad he proved me wrong. And frankly, I didn't think he would get it because it was so late. Maybe was he hurt? But he wasn't getting very many at bats at the beginning, and then he was just hitting against lefties, and I thought, heck, he's not going to get it. He's just not going to get enough plate appearances to do it. And I'll be doggone if he didn't prove me wrong. And it was fun to watch.
I'll tell you what saved that happening was the DH in the National League.
Oh, for sure.
You could just DH him.
Yes.
If they were still
but they
used
were
pitchers,
still just,
I don't think they would have had him in the lineup as often.
No,
if there was still a DH.
Well, he would have had to play the field somewhere.
Right.
And
which would be first base, which would be the only position
well,
he could
you're
play.
taking a Gold Glover out and probably an MVP this year.
Yeah.
Goldie.
So he wouldn't have, if not for the DH happening this year, I believe, the first year for it. This would not have happened.
That's a really good point.
Now, he finished his career with the Angels, and he was just not producing at all.
No.
And they were ready to cut him, I think, and just pay out the rest of his salary.
Well, I think they still are paying him some. The Cardinals are, was it $1 million maybe or something? They're not paying him a whole lot.
That's Caden Craig. There's a read option play there, and he kept it and lost some yards. But the Dodgers, of all people, pick him up. After the Angels released him, the Dodgers picked him up, and in his own words, they kind of revitalized him.
They did. He had a decent year with him.
He hit 15 or so homers from really about July on.
Right.
In only 80 games or whatever it was. Played in the playoffs for the Dodgers. And was a great player for that franchise.
And I'll tell you what, he saved the Cardinals. I mean, about probably starting about August-ish. I don't remember exactly. The home runs he hit tied the game and put him in the lead, and it wasn't like it was a blowout.
He was producing, no doubt.
Cheap home
Deep
runs.
pass to Marcus Sanders. That's pass interference, and they didn't call it.
Yep, he's looking.
That was a pass interference. He was in position to make that catch.
Like they drug him down, maybe.
And the Jackson kid dove into him before the ball arrived. That should have been pass interference. So missed call there, and it'll bring up 4th and 15.
Does the clocks?
Clock should keep ticking.
It is.
Yeah.
Why does it stop on a change of possession?
No. I believe it only stops.
Clock stop change of possession?
In the third quarter.
No, it does not.
I believe it may stop on penalties and touchdowns.
Penalties,
or
touchdowns, score, timeout, official timeout.
In the third quarter.
Penalty. No injuries.
Fourth quarter, I think it runs.
Oh, okay, it's official timeout.
That's Connor Wallace with a nice punt.
Yeah,
could have got a good roll.
Better go get on that, or he'll pick that up and go.
But the fourth quarter, I believe, it runs no matter what. Unless they changed it.
Okay.
And Stanfield says they did change it. So
I'm going with him.
Yeah, they change it all the time. It's hard to keep up.
Right.
I think a lot of times it depends on who's running the clock. And if the white hat cares.
That's the other side of it.
Jackson with a big run here. Was that the quarterback?
Like number 6, I'm going to say, but I wouldn't swear to that. No. Gavin.
So a new quarterback for the Indians. They have some new personnel in. And a timeout for the Bulldogs. 4:29 to go in this third quarter. 54-7 Jackson. We'll take a break.
We grow stronger communities by helping people and organizations achieve and protect financial success. Our mission is to view each transaction, each hello, each handshake, each meeting, and each phone call as a way to improve the lives of others. No matter how you define financial success, see our team today, and we'll help you achieve it. First State Community Bank. Success starts here.
First and 10 for the Indians. They are at the 48-yard line. A lot of backups in the game now for the Indians after their first score in the third quarter. Big hole for number 22. And that is a 13-yard run.
Jason Goodman.
For Jason Goodman, junior for the Indians. Big hole there. We didn't mention earlier, Trez Clark, who had a nice run there in that Sikeston's last drive. He actually left the game. He is cramping. And another about a 10-yard run for Jason Goodman. Another first down. Change of personnel for the Bulldogs. Jackson moving fast with tempo. Jason Goodman again. That time stood up after a gain of 2. Maybe even no gain. They're going to move back. The other official moved up, but he took a step back, and they're going to give no gain on that.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 Indians.
He's running off a little gingerly. Maybe not.
So new running back in the game.
31.
Zach Zimmerman.
Zach Zimmerman. Sounds like a football name.
Jackson's offense is entirely out of the shotgun. That's the quarterback on the draw. Number 9, is it? Adrian Fox.
Number 9, Adrian
About
Fox,
15 on that play.
First down Indians.
Clock still ticking away, 2:40 in the third quarter. Jackson now 1st and 10 at the 14. Fox at quarterback. He gives to Zimmerman. Oh, excuse me, that might have been Goodman. That was Goodman. Goodman came back in. He is not very big.
Jason Goodman on the carry.
That is a small guy, but he's quick.
He is. He's kind of tough to see. Kind of the old, not old, like a Barry Sanders type. He's so hard. He's shifty and tough to see.
There goes Fox on the draw again, and he is thrown ahead right at the sticks. He's inside the 5. So I think it's going to be 1st and goal, about the 4-yard line, 3-yard line. You know, you talk about diminutive running backs. So, yeah, Barry Sanders was 5'8" or 9, and he's one of the all-time greats. Goodman with the carry, dives for the end zone, comes up a little short. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 1. But my senior year, we guy my age, Stafford McClellan, who was 5'6", maybe 5'7", but I think he's about 5'6". You talk about tough. Goodman scores on that play with 1:20 to go.
Reminds me of
in
Justice
the third.
Faulkner, too. Boy, he was
another good one. Justice 5'7", maybe. But I would take him any day of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Stafford was so fast. And just a really good running back for us back in our day. Now, he had our junior year, he had to back up Tiger, so he didn't get as many carries that year.
Not
But
gonna get many.
He still played a lot. Tiger Boyd, who was an all-state player for the Bulldogs. 2-point conversion is no good. And who was that with that tackle? That was Goodman on the
45.
carry.
45. Carter Goodman. Carter Goodman.
Carter Goodman tackled
his
Jason
cousin.
Goodman.
Oh, no, I'm kidding.
So we had Stafford in our senior year. Of course, Tiger had graduated. And
Chris
Stafford
Word was a small.
Chris was about 5'9", but
Yeah.
yeah, but Stafford was our guy, and he was so fast. And all-state track guy. He was 2 years in a row. He got second in the state in the long jump. Lost to the state champion both times. Stafford was in line to win state one of those jumps. He had a 23-foot long jump, one of the best in school history.
Wow.
And the kid, I think he was from Rittner, and his name was Darren Jenkins, and he ended up playing football at Tennessee. But he beat Stafford's jump on his final jump by like an inch, and Stafford did not get to be a state champion.
Speaking of that, where are those records? You know, they used to have them in the field house, and they'd have a list of them. One I remember was Willie Murphy ran like a 4.29 or something.
Oh, I don't know.
40,
about like 40 times.
Well, and I just remember that maybe that was been in the doghouse, you know,
Yeah.
and I didn't.
There's some track records in the field house, and then there's another set of track accomplishments, not records.
Okay.
Over on down the hall there in the field house.
Okay.
I believe Matt Johnson, one of our former coaches, who put together that list of track accomplishments.
Okay. You know, I remember seeing the long jump and the triple jump and because Tommy Masterson had some pole vaulting records.
Yeah, he's still got the pole vault record. He's trying to get wide. Pretty good block there by Don Trez. And Aaron across the 30 brought down to 31. So a nice block by Don Trez to help spring that.
Mm-hmm.
And, but yeah, and you mentioned Justice Faulkner. He graduated 4 or 5, 6 years ago. And, yeah, what a nice running back he was.
Man.
I mean,
he had a big game up at
Park
Hills. That's right. Was that in the playoffs?
That was a regular season game.
Okay.
He had,
just went
if my
crazy.
memory serves, he had 320
yards.
yards.
Say he had over 300 yards. I do remember
the
that.
record is James Watson. He has 328 yards rushing in a game. And James beat Justin Robinson's record of 318, which had stood since 1999.
Yep.
And James set that record in 2011, I believe. There's Trez Clark. He's back in the game and bouncing it out for about 3 or 4 yards. He's running pretty well, Matt. You know, he's not much there some of these runs, and he's just kind of getting what he can. He got 4 on that, really, with nothing there.
That may be the last play of the third quarter here, Derek.
Yeah,
it's
we're
just
down
inside
at 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So Justice in that game, though, we'll talk about that game against Park Hills about 6 years ago, and he had 320 yards, had a chance. I mean, one more run, he might have could have broke the record, but it was, you know, one thing about Gibbs back in those days, he didn't keep guys in so we can get that record. You know, he just played it as the game progressed, and this is the right thing to do, and I always respected that with Coach Gibbs.
Yes.
So that's the end of the third quarter, 60-7 in favor of Jackson. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Brady Young, Evie Walton, Lorelei Standridge, Haley Presley, Avery Newton, Kylan LaFoon, Sophie Hunter, Meredith Grosjean, Landry Eason, Leah Coppage, Mackenzie Coker, Caroline Blanton, Christiana Staple, Kate Schrumpf, Julia Sanders, Caden Parker, Kelsey Couch.
Start of the third quarter.
Morgan Fitzgerald.
Bulldogs,
Claire Durham.
2nd and 6.
See if we can punch another one in here, Derek. What do you say?
Be a good thing to build on. I mean, that's, again, we mentioned it earlier. You're way behind. You're not going to come back and win this game.
No.
But you try to build on things. Here comes another reverse. There we go. That's Marcus Sanders on the reverse. He's brought out of bounds after a gain of maybe 5 or 6. And that's going to be a first down. That's twice they've run that.
Yep.
And twice it's worked.
I guess it wasn't. I said double reverse. I guess it wasn't technically a double reverse.
No, that was
the
just a
double
reverse.
would have been going back the other way.
Yeah, if Marcus handed off to another guy.
Be slow
That would
developing.
be some razzle-dazzle.
Razzle dazzle. I like the term, Deej.
So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at the 41. I've watched Sikeston football for many years, and they don't get usually too adventurous on
No.
halfback passes, and Craig going over to Wallace.
Oh, that's a flag.
Just about came up with it.
Looked like he went up and they
it was
cut
pretty
his feet out from
pretty
underneath him.
close. Some contact there, but you know, you don't see many hook and laterals and things like that from the Bulldogs over the years.
I was gonna say I remember one from Dexter.
Yeah,
Holy
that was
moly!
right here on this field. That won the game.
Yes, it did. Last play of the game.
Yeah. I remember Roosevelt came in here. Gosh, this has probably been 20 years ago. They ran, and I'm not kidding, maybe 10 to 12 hook and lateral plays.
Oh my gosh!
You know,
really?
just double reverses. They threw every trick out there, and I'm telling you, sometimes it worked. Most of the time, it didn't.
Well, I mean, 10 to 12. You may not. I don't remember seeing 10 to 12 my whole lifetime.
I know they did it over and over. You talk. I was doing stats for that game. You talk about a hard game to stat.
I bet.
I didn't. I had to look up how do you.
Right.
To this day, it's still difficult, and I think the person who ends up with it ends up with the yardage.
Oh.
But the other guy gets a catch. I'm not even sure how you.
That's
see,
odd.
even to this day, I don't know how you chart that on a stat sheet. But 3rd down and 11 for the Bulldogs. Here comes a blitz from the linebacker.
Oh, he had him.
He did have he had a step on him. And
that could have gone for a long play, too.
Craig just led him just a little too much on that pass. Might have saw that heat coming from the outside linebacker and just had to get rid of it. 4th down with 9:20 left in the game. Jackson leading 60-7. Here comes. Looks like they're going to punt this one. Play clock is down to 6 seconds. They may not get this off. Yeah, they got the snap off. So Connor Wallace to punt. Pretty good punt. Jackson didn't even put a person back there and got a Sikeston roll to the 32. So clock just ticking away here in the 4th quarter. They're going to put the ball actually about the 31. Most of the Sikeston fans have cleared out. We have Cotton Carnival in town.
Yeah.
Cotton Carnival parade tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir. Looking forward. I always enjoy that. I really do. I've enjoyed that my whole life.
Miss Sikeston contest also tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
My lovely bride is heading that one up. As well, usually it's Kelly Williams, and she has a niece that's in that. So, for obvious reasons, she was not involved in that one. But
conflict of interest, I think.
Of course. And Miss Cotton Carnival is tomorrow. We've had the little Mr. and Mrs. Cotton Carnival earlier in the week, and last night had Junior Miss Sikeston last night, and that was won by
Cheyenne Parker.
That's it.
One of my former students.
Yep.
In fact, I believe every girl in it I had Lee Hunter.
Uh-oh.
Here's is that Fox,
it
the
is
quarterback?
Fox.
He's loose and finally pushed out of bounds. Got about 25
we got a
yards.
flag on the play.
There's
I'm going to guess it's in the spot of holding, but I won't swear to that. Or, yeah, these white hats asking for it. Is it a hold?
This one's coming back. He did stop the clock, so yeah.
I think it's on penalties, yes.
That did not used to be the case.
Yeah.
They would let it roll.
It is a hold.
But I don't know why they would stop it when it's this score. You just, to me, you let it go.
Just let her burn.
It's a 10-yard penalty. So Jackson will have a 2nd and long. Clock is wound up, I guess.
Hey, sometimes we get wound up here, don't we?
We do. So looking ahead, I mentioned it earlier, Sikeston will be on the road next week.
Travels to Cape.
At Cape Central. Play their old coach, Kent Gibbs, who's now the head coach at Cape Central.
Well, they say the old ball coach.
The old ball coach. Coach Gibbs.
Spurrier.
We had a lot of good times with Coach Gibbs as the coach here. Some of our greatest teams we ever had.
Agreed.
2 semifinal finishes. Just inches away from a dome shot in 2010.
Man.
A lot of great players. Jackson still out of the shotgun. I don't believe they've gone under center one time. I mean, this is what they do.
Yeah. We're coming off a blitz.
Fox swings it back this way. A lot of room. He may score unless they can catch him, and I don't think they can catch him. Marcus Sanders trying to get there and can't get him. That is number 6.
Gavin.
Or
Alspall.
Gavin.
Alspall.
If I can say the name right, let's. Alspall, I guess.
Yeah.
Gavin Alspall. So that will stop the clock at 6:04. Another touchdown for the Indians. There was a time, Matt, that they. Now he's winding the clock. Yeah, so I was going to say right before he did it, there was a time where they would wind the clock even after a touchdown or a score. And he definitely wound it there. Yeah, he's rolling it. So, and I was wondering why he stopped it there. But so anyway, looking ahead next week, Sikeston will have Cape Central on the road, and then back October 14th, Sikeston will have homecoming night against New Madrid County Central, and that will be Sikeston's final home game of the year. They'll finish the season October 21st at Charleston for the big rivalry game, often called the oldest rivalry west of the Mississippi. There's a lot of dispute on that. Webster Groves and Kirkwood have a claim at it. Their claim is we started before the Sikeston-Charleston rivalry. I'm not really sure if that's the case. I don't know. But Sikeston's and Charleston's is the oldest in terms of games played.
Right, but sometimes, didn't we used to play them twice?
Twice in the early years, often twice. Now, it was interrupted during the COVID year.
Yes, we talked about that.
It was interrupted. It was 100 years that they played, and I think 100 straight years, and the COVID year interrupted it. Charleston had to cancel the game that night.
Lack of players, I think.
Yeah, too many COVID cases, and what a weird time that was.
Oh, my gosh.
So
I think I said it the first game this year.
Yeah.
This is truly the first year with no COVID protocol.
That's
and
right.
Just, I'll tell you, that was a...
That kick was mishandled, but Sikeston did recover. I think it was Gadberry. He was able to recover it. By the time he got his hands on it, Jackson was in his face. 4 minutes and 13 seconds left in the game. The clock is ticking away. 68-7. Charleston is having a pretty good season this year.
They're not a terrible team.
They lost a close one to Portersville, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
They've had 1 or 2 games canceled on them.
Yeah.
The Malden game was canceled, and I believe the Hayti game was canceled.
That tonight?
The Hayti game was tonight that was canceled.
Yeah.
I saw some of the Charleston kids down the concessions area. Oh, that pass incomplete, almost intercepted. We do have a penalty flag.
Yeah.
But I saw some of their players down there, and I realized I forgot that they were supposed to play Hayti. That game was canceled. I'm not sure of the reason. But the Malden game was canceled due to the pass interference on Jackson, by the way, on that call. The Malden game was canceled because Malden did not have enough healthy players to even compete, so they canceled the game. But I think Charleston just has the 1 loss to Portersville so far this year. We're under 3 minutes. Clock is going. Sikeston would like to get a touchdown here, just to put one on the board. Hand off to Trez Clark up the middle. Nice cutback. Got about 5 or 6 on that. Trez has done a nice job as the primary ball carrier tonight, Matt. And he's had some nice moves. I don't have the stats, but I'd say he's probably around 50 yards rushing.
correct. I would agree with that. We got 2nd and 4. We're going to have to hustle here to score, and I'm not sure what we're doing.
They may not be pushing to score, just running good plays. I don't know. They're not in any hurry. Play clock down to 2. Got the play off. Clark up the middle again. And that's close to the first down, if not. I think he did get it.
Looks like they're spotting him there.
Yep. I mean, again, Trez made another nice cut there.
Right.
He's
a
getting
late cut, a jab, a jab step.
He's up the middle. He does a little, hits the juke button to the right and gets away from the guy.
The old right and B or whatever it is, or the
used to be R2 on the PlayStation.
I was going to say, is that the
then it became the analog.
The right, the bumper, the right bumper. They have a bumper and a trigger.
Folks, don't kill me. I'm kind of nerdy. I play the video games. So.
Wait. Kinda.
Hey, I am what I am.
I am what I am.
So that snap a little low. Craig's going to launch it.
Dontrez
go.
Dontrez.
The catch.
Score it.
Oh, he's got his hands on Dontrez, and he's inside the 20. Dontrez just about broke that one.
Call timeout, Coach.
He had a hold of his jersey. Otherwise, he would have scored.
Yeah. Good play to hang on to him.
So that might be Sikeston's biggest play of the night. That was about a 35-yard pass to Dontrez. Clock is ticking. It's at 45 seconds.
We've talked about it before, and I don't know if it was designed that way, but that comeback is so hard to defend.
It is. Rolling out this time. Craig looking in the end zone. That pass incomplete. Out of bounds.
Looks
so
like a roughing the passer. And
there it is.
Just called it. Now does it stop now on a penalty? Yeah. I was going to say I looked like the official was trying to find the flag.
He just couldn't pull the trigger.
No,
he
couldn't get it
but
out.
He finally got it out. So that's going to be half the distance.
Yes.
To the goal.
Roughing the passer against the Indians.
So they're going to put that on about the 7-yard line. Sikeston's got maybe 2 plays in them here. They still have 2 timeouts if they choose to use them.
Burn a timeout. Mm-hmm.
So you could get maybe 3 plays. At this point, I would say might as well try to score and use all the timeouts you have.
Yeah, absolutely. Try to get it in there.
So clock is started. They're under 20 seconds. Sikeston looking to get in the end zone a second time tonight. Launch to Dontrez. That one's incomplete.
Yeah, that's going to do it.
Treston's going to take time. So I say Treston. Excuse me, Coach Pulley. Well, I catch myself sometimes.
Sorry.
Because I've called him Treston.
He's a colleague
forever.
Yeah.
And now he's coaching.
Well, you coached him, and he's a colleague, and all those things.
I have to catch myself, but Coach Pulley calls the timeout. Sikeston will have 1 play left, it looks like.
Yeah. Sorry, Coach Pulley. It's not being disrespectful. It's just we know him in that light.
I've known him.
Right. Well, you coached him, didn't you?
20 years. I coached him in JC League football,
Right. Well, you probably coached him in junior high basketball. Or did he play junior high basketball?
He did not play junior high.
Really?
And I wasn't coaching junior high basketball at that time anyway.
Okay.
But, I don't think he played junior high basketball.
He may not have. I mean, he was on that 2011.
He was a member of that
state. And did he get hurt the first game?
5 games into the season.
5 games.
Yeah, he played 5 games, and then he missed the rest of the season. But he still got a ring, just like everybody else. He was a member of that team.
No, absolutely.
He's in the picture on the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely.
So here is perhaps the final play of the game. 6.9 seconds to go. Craig takes the snap. He's looking to the end zone. Throwing to Connor Wallace.
Connor.
He's got it. That's a touchdown.
All right. Oh, boy, Connor. Nice throw. No try? They say there's no try. That's it.
That is a touchdown.
That's
Sikeston, I guess they're not going to give him the extra point.
No, that's what Mr. Stanfield said. No try. That's it.
Yeah.
Ball game.
So that is it.
Yeah.
68-13 will be the final.
It's kind of like shooting free throws, when they're in the turbo clock and the clock's running. You don't even, if the clock runs out, that's all you get.
Yeah.
Okay, 68-13.
Yep. Good for Sikeston. They ended the game on a positive, maybe something to build on. You never know.
Yes.
This game was all Jackson. I mean, they are the supreme team in this area and have been for a number of years.
Yes.
And I look for them to make more noise in the playoffs. I don't know if they're state championship good as they were maybe a couple years ago, but I think they would be a team that could win their district, maybe win a game or two in the playoffs.
For sure.
Bulldogs will have a road game next week at Cape Central. And big game there. And, Sikeston let one slip away last year against Cape on this field. And Sikeston will be looking to get a little payback in that game next year. So parting thoughts, Matt, what do you think?
Again, like we talked about, Jackson was a supreme team tonight, the better, superior team. I like the way Sikeston ended on a positive note. I think we go into Cape Central. I think we got a shot there. I mean, are they 0-?
No, they defeated Bluff, and they won another game or two. They won two.
I think two and
three maybe.
And tonight, I think they were losing earlier. So
to Farmington.
Who's a good team.
I will say the only time I've seen them was on the stream against Jackson, but they have a lot of weapons.
Okay.
Very fast. It'll be a difficult team to beat for the Bulldogs, but it's winnable, and you would like to see the Bulldogs go in there and come away with a victory.
We throw some scores at you real fast, Deej.
All righty.
New Madrid Central 54-28 in the fourth over Kennett. Cape Central down 32-27 against.
I knew that would be a good game against Farmington.
Farmington, yes. Dexter up 36-20 in the fourth quarter over Crothersville, and that's East Prairie's up 30-18 over Malden. And I think those were two 0-5 teams, or 0-6.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So that's all I got, Deej.
All right. Well, we are going to say so long for tonight, and we will see you in 2 weeks for the
homecoming. Don't forget, get your tickets or be a sponsor. Come out and enjoy the time. It's a great, great time.
The homecoming tailgate
Go Dogs.
that night. So.